Hello, I'm Jim Miles. I'm the director of the Waldwick Middle School Drama Club, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Middle School Drama Project. I'm calling it a drama project this year because it's got two parts. The first part is all monologues. We took the opportunity for the remote sessions to go a little bit deeper into acting, things that we didn't necessarily have the time for when we were trying to put on a full stage production. The other part is an online version of Dear Edwina Jr. Before we get started with our program, I want to just thank a few people. First and foremost, Miss Irwin. Without Miss Irwin, the students wouldn't sound as lovely as they do. She does a great job and did it virtually. Secondly, I want to thank Mr. Myers for his support of the arts, Ms. Herkler and Ms. Brophy for their support and their guidance, and Mr. Meltzer for bringing this program to us via YouTube. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our first monologuist. Lily will be presenting a monologue that you've probably all heard at some point or another. It is from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Here, Veruca Salt, a very spoiled young lady, is demanding that she gets a golden ticket.
Where's my golden ticket? I want my golden ticket. Oh, yeah, here it is. As soon as I told my father I simply had to have one of those golden tickets, he went out into the town and started buying up all the Wonka bars he could get his hands on. Thousands of them he must have bought. Hundreds of thousands. Then he had them loaded onto the trucks and delivered to his own factory. He's in the peanut business, you see. And he's got about 100 women working for him over at his joints, shelling peanuts for roasting and salting. That's what they do all day long. These women, they just shell peanuts. Okay, girls, he says, from now on, you can stop shelling peanuts and start shelling the wrappers off these crazy candy bars instead. And they did. He had every worker in the place yanking the paper off those bars of chocolate, full speed ahead from morning till night. But 3 days went by and we had no luck. Oh, it was terrible. I got more and more upset each day. Where's my golden ticket? I want my golden ticket, I would scream at him every time he came home. And I would lie on the floor for hours, kicking and screaming and yelling in the most disturbing of ways. And then, on the fourth day, one of his women workers yelled to him, "I've got it! A golden ticket!" And my father said, "Give it to me, quick!" And she did. And he rushed home and gave it to me. Now I'm all smiles, and we have a happy home once again.
Up next, we have Angie, who will be taking us into the world of William Shakespeare, but not quite. In this case, Juliet wants revenge on the famous author from the show Drop Dead Juliet.
Did I say quit? Did anyone say quit? I'm not quitting. I just want a better story. More love. Less death. I'm sure we can come up with a better story if we just have a little goodwill. Goodwill? Thank you for writing in a dagger. I'm sure it will come in handy. Oh, yes, I can. You think of us, and we're there. You don't think we don't talk when you're not around? You don't think we don't compare plots? This is not just words on a page. This is my life. Maybe that works on messengers, servants, and spear carriers. But you can't forget a major character, and you know it. If you ever want to write another play again, time to start another draft. I will personally tell every single character what you're going to do to them. I will make a guest appearance in everything you ever write. I will haunt your dreams until you can now write another word.
Up next, Samantha argues the value of a grade as Charlie Brown's little sister Sally from You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
A C? A C? I got a C on my coat hanger sculpture? How could anyone get a C in coat hanger sculpture? May I ask the question, was I judged on the piece of sculpture itself? If so, is it not true that time alone can judge a work of art? Or was I judged on my talent? If so, is it fair that I be judged on a part of my life over which I have no control? If I was judged on my effort, then I was judged unfairly, for I tried as hard as I could. Was I judged on what I had learned about this project? If so, then were not you, my teacher, also being judged on your ability to transmit your knowledge to me? Are you willing to share my C? Perhaps I was being judged on the quality of coat hanger itself out of which my creation was made. Now, is this not also unfair? Am I to be judged by the quality of coat hangers that are used by the dry cleaning establishment that returns our garments? Is that not the responsibility of my parents? Should they not share my C? Thank you, Miss Othmar. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Up next, we have Sophia, who's also arguing a grade, this time in the guise of a mother who has switched bodies with her teenage daughter. Freaky Friday, the Disney picture, which has recently been adapted as a Broadway musical.
Mr. Bates, may I please speak with you? By what stretch of the imagination? I mean, like, how could I get an F? I mean, what mistakes did I make? That was a college-level analysis. In a matter of fact, I most certainly am qualified of making that point. As in Hamlet, what's done is done. That's Macbeth, you know? Nothing sweat, Bates, Elson Bates, Griffith High School. Well, you asked me. I mean, my mom to the prom, but she turned you down. And now you're taking it out on her daughter, aren't you? Aren't you? Oh, come on. It was a high school dance. I mean, you got to let go and move on, man. And if you don't, I'm sure the school board would love to hear about your pathetic vendetta against an innocent student. Oh, and by the way, Elton, she had a boyfriend, and you are weird.
Alexandra plays a young girl, desperate to get out of her hometown and hoping to leave with her brother after his wedding, as she portrays Frankie from A Member of the Wedding.
I told Bernice that I was leaving town for good, and she didn't believe me. Sometimes I honestly think she's the biggest fool that ever drew breath. You try to impress something on a big fool like that, and it's just like talking to a block of cement. I kept telling her, and telling her, and telling her. I told her I have to leave this town because it's inevitable. Inevitable. That's my suitcase I packed. And if you think it's all over, that just shows how little you know. If I can't leave this town with the bride and my brothers I was meant, I'm leaving anyway. Somehow, anyhow, I'm leaving town. I can't stand this existence, this kitchen, this town any longer. I'll hop on a train to New York or hitch rides to Hollywood and get a job there. Somehow. Anyhow, I'm running away.
Gabby tries to console a young woman who has lost her parents, explaining to her that she has been through something similar, as she portrays Sarah from A Little Princess.
I don't have a mother either. She's in heaven with my baby sister. But that doesn't mean I can't talk to her. I talk to her all the time. I tell her everything I know. And she hears me because that's what angels do. My mom is an angel and yours is too, with beautiful satin wings, a silk dress, and a crown of baby rosebuds, and they all live together in a castle. And do you know what it's made out of? Sunflowers, hundreds of them, so bright they shine like the sun. And when they want to go anywhere, they just whistle, like this. And a cloud swoops down to the front gate and picks them up. And they ride through the air, over the moon and through the stars, until they're hovering right above us. That's how they can look down and make sure we're all right. And sometimes they even send messages. Of course you can't hear them right now with all the noise you're making. But don't worry, they'll always try again, even if you miss them.
And now, Emily portrays a young woman who is full of confidence, thinking that she is the most talented person in Missouri, as she presents Shirley from the 5th of July.
I'm going to be the greatest artist Missouri has ever produced. Now, the entire Midwest. There have been very famous people, world famous people. Tennessee Williams grew up in Missouri. He grew up not 3 blocks from where I live now. All his formative years. And Mark Twain, and Dreeser, and Vincent Price, and Harry Truman, and Betty Grable, but me. Oh God, me. I'm going to be so great, unqualified, the greatest single artist the Midwest has ever known. A painter, or a sculptor, or a dancer, or a writer, a conductor, a composer, an actress, one of the arts. People will die. Certain people will literally have cardiac arrest at the magnitude of my achievements. Doing something astonishing, just astonishing. I will have you know that I intend to study for 10 years and then burst forth on the world. And people will be aghast, amazed, astonished at the magnitude. Oh God, look, is that she? Is that she? It is. It is she. Ah! She died of cardiac arrest and astonishment at the magnificence of my achievement in my chosen field. Only Shakespeare, Michelangelo, Beethoven, and Frank Lloyd Wright have raised my heights before me.
Amanda revels us with the fantasies of a young woman who thinks that her origins were spectacular, as she brings us a monologue from the hit Broadway show Matilda.
And slowly prepared themselves for the most dangerous feat that had ever been performed. The great escapologist had to escape from the cage, lean out, catch his wife with one hand, grab a fire extinguisher with the other, and put out the flames on her specially designed dress within 12 seconds before they reached the dynamite and blew his wife's head off. The trick started well. The moment the specially designed dress was set alight, the acrobat swung into the air. The crowd held their breath as she hurled over the sharks and spiky objects. 1 second, 2 seconds, they watched as the flames crept up on the dress. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, she began to reach out her arms towards the cage. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, suddenly the padlocks pinged open and the huge chains fell away. 7 seconds, 8 seconds, the door flung open and the escapologist reached out one huge muscled arm to catch his wife and the child. 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, and he grabs her hand, and suddenly, the flames are covered in foam before they can both be blown to pieces. Maybe it was the thought of their child, maybe it was nerves. But the escapologist used just a touch too much foam, and suddenly, their hands became slippery, and she fell. She broke every bone in her body, except the ones at the ends of her little fingers. She did manage to live long enough to have her own child, but the effort was too great. Love our little girl, she said. Love our daughter with all your heart. She's all we ever wanted. And then she died. And then things got worse.
To wrap up our monologue section is Angeliki, playing the big bad wolf from Misunderstood Characters.
Man, you accidentally knocked down some pig's house with a sneeze, and they start telling stories about you. And now there's this little girl with her red hood. Who knows what they'll say about this one? I have self-esteem issues. Everyone's always going around saying what a big nose you have and what big teeth you have. It hurts. I just want to go away someplace where I won't bother anyone. And they're always promising happy endings, but where's my happy ending? All that happily ever after seems to be reserved for princesses and cute little animals, especially bunnies. Why are rabbits always getting happy endings? They're rodents, I tell you. Rodents!
I hope you enjoyed this portion of the program. It was something that I was excited to do and to bring to you, and all of our young actors have worked very hard on those monologues, and I'm incredibly proud of them. Up next is our feature, Dear Edwina. I want to just take one final moment to thank the parents of those involved with our show for working with the students and feeding lines to them so we could edit together this project. It wasn't easy. It required a lot of takes and retakes and shot changes, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your hard work. Now please sit back, relax, and enjoy Dear Edwina, virtual.
Me.
People, where are my people?
I'm ready, Edwina.
Wow, that makes one of us. People, I've got all of Paw Paw, Michigan on this call, expecting to see a show.
If you ever find yourself in Paw Paw, Michigan, looking high and low for something fun to do, you can open up a map of Paw Paw, Michigan. Go to 427 Birchwood Avenue. There'll be music, there'll be dancing, there'll be laughs and more. My mom made a lot of cookies, lemonade will pour. And if you ever need advice in Paw Paw, Michigan, well, here's everything you need to know. Every Sunday afternoon, live from the garage at the Dear Edwina Show.
Hello, everybody. Places for showtime. Am I talking to a wall here? I said places.
What's with her? Today's the day.
What's with her?
Today's the day she's coming.
Who's she?
Talent Scout from the Kalamazoo Advice-A-Palooza Festival.
I thought only famous people were allowed in the Kalamazoo Advice-A-Palooza Festival.
Didn't you read the paper? Due to Dr. Joyce Brothers' last-minute cancellation, there's one spot left, and they may fill it with local talent.
That's us.
That's some of us.
Well, I guess there's nothing else to do but say, break a leg, everybody. So, break a leg, everybody.
My ankle!
Oh, great. This had to happen on the day the Talent Scout is coming. Where are we ever going to find a last-minute replacement?
Hi, I'm Bobby, your new next-door neighbor.
Great, can you sing?
Can
you dance?
I just came off to drop off these brownies from my mom. I heard there's a kid my age who lives here.
That would be my sister Katie. She's not home, but I'm home.
And you are...
I am Edwina Spoonapple, advice giver extraordinaire. Now put those brownies down, Bobby New Kid, because it's showtime.
Well...
Don't you want to be in our show?
No thanks.
No thanks necessary. My brother Joe is ready on the drums, and my sister Myra is at the keyboard. My entire neighborhood is warming up. Now all we need is you. You can't eat fire by any chance, can you?
Fire?
Take 5, everybody. I'm going to think about what to do.
Gee, Edwina, this is really important to you, isn't it?
When Katie's good at math, she gets a big fat A. This tempted but my family's fidgeting. And at every music contest, Joey and Myra take the prize. On the freezer there are ribbons everywhere. And I'm proud to be their sister, but it really makes me blue that there isn't any prize for telling people what to do, except an invitation to Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, home of the world-famous Advice-A-Palooza Festival. Do you know what invitation means, Bobby? a chance to finally be where I belong. Up on the fridge is where I want to be, just like Katie and Myra and Joe. There's a white plastic magnet that's just the right size, where my new invitation can go. And then every morning I'll open the door, get some OJ or milk, and I'll see what I dreamed of and wish for and hope for and pray for, a prize that belongs to me. My parents are out, but they don't understand. You can't hold a pat on the back in your hand. But up on the fridge, how I long for the day I could point to the door and say, gee, there's Katie and Myra and Myra and Myra and Joe and Katie and Joe and me.
Well, what's everybody waiting for? It's showtime! From beautiful downtown Paw Paw, Michigan, the Spoon Apple Repertory Theater is proud to present the latest performance of their first season.
As a courtesy of the performers, we ask that no flash photography be used.
But keep that video camera rolling, Grandma.
Here she is, the advice giver extraordinaire herself. Roll out the barrel, look at who's here, who's made advice a stellar career, even if it goes out of one ear. Edwina, if you believe good manners are scary, never you fear, here comes your good fairy, brighter than the moon's glow. She knows where the spoons go. Write her a letter, she will reply. Then you can kiss your troubles goodbye. Wiser than owls and sweeter than pie is she. She'll fill your life with roses and clover. How can you help but go gaga over our dear Edwina? Oh, what a girl.
Cultured as pearl.
Cultured as pearl.
Banners unfurl.
Banners unfurl. We love you, Edwina. Carries extra tissues. Beautiful queen of thank you and please. Take all our hearts, we'll give you the keys. You make the world a breezier place to be. Your good advice is such a sensation. Notice the nicest sweeping the nation. All thanks to you. Gray skies are blue. Our love is true. Dear Edwina, dear Edwina.
Welcome to the Dear Edwina Advice Giving Show. Judging from all the letters we received, you people of Paw Paw need a lot of advice. We found many earth-shatteringly subjects to discuss in today's performance. Things like
fruits you don't like. Please help my brother Aristotle. He's really very picky. Most foods we put upon his plate he thinks are very icky. He screams, he cries, he moans, he sighs, he hides under the table. Edwina, sweet Edwina, won't you help him if you're able? Your new friends, Aphrodite, Colossus, Athena, Swenson.
Aristotle Swenson. If you want to be polite, you have to remember, it's not what you eat, it's what you say. Just ask the fabulous rock group, direct from the Paw Paw Community Center Battle of the Bands, Susie and the Napkins.
Johnny looked like an angel in a suit and tie as he visited learned in school. He greeted the queen with a smiling bow, and he said, "It's very nice to meet you." And the queen responded, "Johnny, the pleasure's all mine, and now a host of strange foods I will feed you." Johnny took a little taste of some steaming spicy soup, and his face turned very red. As he struggled with the smile, he heard a little voice singing softly in his head. It said, "Say no thank you, say no thank you. If the soup is too cold, you shouldn't butter salt. Say no thank you, say no thank you. Press your neck into your chin and breathe out and breathe in. Fools in many cases you'll find it true. What's good to someone else may not taste good to you. So when that happens, if that happens, say no thank you. Don't pretend that you are choking. Don't fall down upon the floor. Simply smile and say no thank you. Don't run screaming at the door. It's important that you don't insult your host, but that doesn't mean you have to be octopus toast. Johnny, how about a little taste of octopus toast? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say no thank you. Say no thank you. Take a teeny little bite. It may actually taste so fresh. Say no thank you. Say no thank you. Put a future on your plate. Everybody has food. In many cases you'll find it right. Even if you don't like something, you can be polite. So when that happens, if that happens, say no thank you. When that happens, if that happens, say no thank you. You have some jelly? Sha-la-la.
Wasn't that wonderful? Now, let's introduce the top of the cheerleading pyramid, Becky Del Vecchio.
People from the Advice of Palooza Festival. When it comes to advice, Edwina's the best of all. Woo!
Thank you, Becky.
So, who's the talent scout?
I think it's that woman by the waiting pool. She was smiling the whole time.
Nah, that's my troop leader.
That can't be her. She's...
Sleeping.
Thank you. Oh! Now this is what I call a problem.
Dear Edwina. Dear Edwina. Dear Edwina! My problem is I'm very shy and feeling very blue. I'm moving very far away and don't know what to do. My parents bought a ski school in Sweden, and soon in the snow we'll be playing. But how can I make any new friends if I can't figure out what anyone is saying? Thank you for your kindness, fondly ever yours, Periwinkle, Hergenbergen, Jurgensen.
Tell people of Periwinkle, Hergenberg, and Jurgensen, I've got the perfect song about the importance of saying hello. That's right. What's more important than saying hello? Lola Lopez lived in Lima, lovely Lima in Peru. Lola had a cousin Harry, way out west in Honolulu. One day Lola got a letter from her cousin way out west.
If you'd come to my birthday party, Lola, that would be the best.
So on an airplane Lola flew, all the way from Lima, Peru, far across the ocean blue. Flew Lola from Lima to Honolulu. And Harry's family said, Ola, Lola, Lola, hello. Ola, Lola, hello. Ola, Lola, Lola, hello. Ola, Lola, hello. They're at Harry's birthday party as the children laughed and played. Cake was served by Harry's mom, but under a palm tree Lola stayed. Harry said to Lola,
Lola, why not come and say hello?
They're all talking words I don't know, and Harry said,
No, don't be shy. Come to the table for pineapple pie. Everyone will welcome you. Sweet Lola from England on a moon. Just say,
oh la 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 hello. Oh la 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 hello. Oh la 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 hello. Oh la 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 hello. Lola sat down at the table, set up in the island sand. Softly and Lola whispered, Hola, hoping the kids would understand. Lola closed her eyes and swallowed, fearing that the worst would come. But all the kids took ukuleles and everyone began to strum. And they all sang, oh la 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 la, oh la 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 hello, oh la 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 hello, oh la 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 hello. Aloha Lola, shalom Lola, shalom Lola, chibio, shalom Lola, Lola, Jehovah Aseya. So if you meet someone different and they seem a little shy, you'll make friends in any language. Think of Lola and just say hi. Oh la la, Lola hello. Oh la la. Well, that's our show for today.
No.
We have a letter from Scott Anonymous.
Dear Edwina, I've got girl problems. I carved her heart in Dad's workshop, but it came out like a blob. Then I made a sign saying please be mine out of kernels of corn on the cob. Every night I take out my telescope and I wish on the asteroids that soar that someday I'll get noticed by the girl that I adore. And I know you think it's stupid, but I'm writing in just the same to ask you what a boy should do when the whole world's shouting her name. As chairman of the chess club, why last will you be my queen, dear Edwina, my dear Edwina, the most beautiful, marvelous, wonderful girl that I've seen. Edwina, you, me, Dairy Queen.
Hello? Who's this? Anne Van Buren from Kalamazoo Advice-a-Palooza Festival. I'm sorry, we're not taking any calls right now.
Speakerphone! Speakerphone! Hi, kids. Sorry I had to run. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Why, thank you.
I think we found a spot for you in the Kalamazoo Advice-a-Palooza Festival. What talent, what passion, what a range. Scott, you'll be perfect singing the national anthem.
What about the rest of us?
Oh, that's what we need for this year, honey.
But what about Dr. Joyce Brothers' last-minute cancellation?
We've got a new group in from Montreal, Advice du Soleil.
Advice du Soleil?
They all stay on each other's heads. It's fabulous. Now, Scott, we have a million things to do. We've got a meeting tomorrow with the Detroit Free Press. We have to discuss what you're going to wear at the gala. Of course, Ariana Grande will back you up on the national anthem. Once I have permission from your parents, I'll have my assistant swing by a Dairy Queen to pick you up.
Don't worry, Edwina.
It's a great show. We still had fun.
The dance must go on.
Brownie? Who wants to go to stupid old Kalamazoo anyway? Katie Spoonapple, aren't you supposed to be at the Summer Math Olympics?
I ran away.
What do you mean you ran away?
Who cares about gold medal in trigonometry anyway?
You do. It's been your specialty since the 3rd grade.
I'm never doing another math equation as long as I live.
What? Come on, start from the beginning.
We were getting ready for the multiplication trials, and Sally Farnworth was sitting next to me. And next to her was Mary Kay Hooper.
Isn't that the girl you beat up for the All-State champion in the divisions division?
Yeah. Anyway, she and Sally became super best friends for the week. And when we finished our equations, I happened to finish first.
Of course.
And when I brought my answers to the judge, everybody clapped.
Hooray!
And Sally whispered, "I hate that girl, Kate. She thinks she's so great."
And you heard her.
Everyone did. And Mary Kay nodded.
Maybe you just heard it. No? Well, all I can tell you is, for a bunch of math champions, those girls sound pretty stupid.
Just forget it.
Those kids that try to knock you down, they're not what life's about. Just like to sing your special song and drown them out. I won't pretend it doesn't hurt. Some things can say can hurt a lot. But what hurts more is when they make you want to be something you're not. You got to sing your own song, use your own voice. Your voice is not a thing to be afraid of. And when they hear it with you, there's not a thing they can do to take away the music that you're made of. Oh, to be normal, to be a safe and unassuming shade of gray. Not too different, not too smart, no more posing, no more. Do you really want to live your life that way? For those who work so very hard to make their talent fly. It's hard, but what gives you so much joy can make you laugh. Let the joy please abide.
Just sing your own song.
Use your own voice. Your voice is not a thing to be afraid of. And when they hear it ring, there's nothing they can do to take away the music that you made of. Don't let them take away the music that you made. There's no invitation to put on the fridge, no ribbon to point to with pride. And I like big fat A's, but what A can compare to the feeling of feeling inside? And what's more than a hug from your sis, or the fact that your friends had a ball? Don't think about prizes, just do what you love.